Things are about to get a little bit spicy, baby. What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today it is time for me to tackle the pandemic excuse. People are saying that Hollywood is still seeing the effects of the pandemic 5 years later. However, today I'm going to debunk them with straight up facts. Now, look, before I get started, do your boy O three major favors. Please hit that subscribe button. Then, after you hit that subscribe button, make sure that notification bell because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. Hitting that notification bell certainly helps. And don't forget to hit that like button to help me out with that algorithm, baby. Now let's get into today's video. All right, here's what inspired me to make this video. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. It is titled, "The Summer Box Office is Quickly Turning South. Early hopes that grosses could top $4 billion. We're going to talk about why that is important in a second. This season have fizzled as insiders bemoan a lack of tentpoles. I would not say there was a lack of tentpoles in this year's summer. We had James Gunn's Superman, we had the Fantastic Four, we had the Thunderbolts, we had Lilo and Stitch, we had Jurassic World. I would not say there was a lack of summer tempos. Would you? Would you? I, I would not agree with that. We had just about the same amount of summer films, and I'm talking about big budgeted films, as we usually get. Even Mission Impossible is in there. So they ain't got no lack of nothing, my man. Who is this? Oh, my girl. Pamela McConnett, however you say your name. Sorry if I butchered it. All right, let's go. Kryptonite is messing with summer box office. Heading into the start of the season, hopes were running high that Hollywood would make a roaring comeback and be able to best or at least match the $4 billion plus earned in 2023 at the domestic box office, when the combination of Barbie and Oppenheimer turned into a cultural phenomenon. The May 2025 to August calendar, I'm sorry I read that out of place, was certainly promising on paper in terms of marquee tempos, led by James Gunn's Superman reboot, Jurassic World Rebirth, and the Fantastic Four First Steps. Only the Dinos overperformed. Now, that tells you right there that they were hoping that all of these movies earned at least $800 million worldwide, $400 million domestically, so on and so forth, right? The expectations was high. So for all those people out there who feels like, hey, Superman, it did fine. James Gunn only wanted the film to make this much, man. Listen, trust me, they expected a lot more, which is why they spent as much as they did. I just want to point that out. All right, next up is the graph. On this graph, this is why $4 billion at the domestic box office is important to the argument. In 2012, $4.2 billion. All right. We had The Dark Knight in 2012. So I think that film grossed like $500 million of that. 2013, $4.7 billion. Dark Knight Rises was 2012. Sorry about that. And 2015, 4.9. So if you look at the graph, they were averaging $4 billion plus, except for 2017. All right, in 2020, the graph sinks $176 million domestically. We all know that was the pandemic year. That year affected Hollywood. There's no argument there. Then you look at 2021, it went up. Look at that increase from $176 million to $1.7 billion. So people were going back to the movie theater. However, 2022, that total doubled. It doubled to $3.4 billion. Now you get to 2023. What do you see? What do you see? $4 billion at the domestic box office. That is right up there with the average that they were hoping for. Then 2024, a dip. 2025, it went up a little bit. But that dip demonstrates the interest in whatever it is that Hollywood is putting out there. Okay, you were able to earn the $4 billion in 2023, which I believe the top 5 films put together earned $2 billion. Let me see. Barbie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Oppenheimer, The Little Mermaid. Yes, all of them together makes $2 billion on their own. Goes to show you that people really wanted to watch those movies. Hell, even Little Mermaid made nearly $300 million domestically at 298. Okay. Oppenheimer, $310 million domestically. Guardians of the Galaxy, 358. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 381. Barbie, 612. See, that is what they are missing. That is interest. This has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the pandemic. The pandemic was 5 years ago. That's half a decade. Seriously, half a decade ago. And as you can see by the chart, it went back up. So yes, people are willing to go to the movie theaters these nowadays. The problem is you're giving people material that they're simply not interested in. And you look at Superman, and I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, you're jumping all over Superman. I hate that fucking movie. But you look at Superman, right? They showed the trailers to the world. Crypto jumping all over Superman, the CGI, the cinematography. You didn't know the story. People had the opportunity to go and watch that movie. Domestically, it turned out people liked it. People wanted to go and watch the movie. But overseas, they didn't want to go and check it out. They had every opportunity to go and watch it, and they decided not to. Same thing goes for the Fantastic Four. If you ask me, Superman should have been the $600 million domestic film of 2025. But it simply is not because the interest level wasn't there. And I feel like people need to live with this. See, they have this echo chamber. They get online, they find like 50 people or so, they all agree with each other, and here it is, they think the whole world feel that way. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. You need to put out something that's interesting, something that's unique, something that feels fresh. And we can all agree, in today's Hollywood, they're not giving you that. Yeah, you get a film every now and then that you like me, creator. I like 65, but more than often, you get absolute garbage like Madam Web. Who would put that out? So when it comes to Hollywood and the pandemic excuse, y'all need to stop it.